Do you think that there should be a federal law criminalizing domestic terrorism? The president used that phrase, but that's not really on the books.
I'll let the president speak to the legal outlook with regard to the definition of terrorism, but whether it's called that legally or not, this was terrorism. This was hate. And this would be a good day for every politician in this country, left, right, and center, every media figure in this country, left, right, and center, to come out and unequivocally condemn white nationalism, so-called replacement theory, and any other hateful ideology that could have contributed to something like this before it happens again.
But should there be a federal statute that elevates things when those terms you just threw out there? Should there be an association directly with terrorism?
Again, we don't know, obviously, all of the details that fit the legal definitions. What we know is that somebody traveled a long distance with an AR-15 to hunt human beings, to hunt black people. And we need to make sure that we root out that kind of hate. And, by the way, that we have a conversation about the availability of the kind of tactical weaponry that he seems to have had. And yet we seem to be having that conversation over and over and over again as a country.
Violence backed by ideology is terrorism. Attorney General Merrick Garland said that the greatest domestic threat facing the United States came from recently or ethnically motivated violent extremists, specifically those who advocate for the superiority of the white race. Republicans rely on the support of white extremists and the people that sympathize with them. The Buffalo shooter cited replacement theory in his extensive manifesto. One of the biggest proponents of this theory over a long period of time has been Tucker Carlson.
Now, I know that the left and all the little gatekeepers on Twitter become literally hysterical if you use the term replacement, if you suggest that the Democratic Party is trying to replace the current electorate, the voters now casting ballots, with new people, more obedient voters from the third world. But they become hysterical because that's what's happening, actually. Let's just say it, that's true. If this was happening in your house, if you were in sixth grade, for example, and without telling you, your parents adopted a bunch of new siblings and gave them brand new bikes and let them stay up later and help them with their homework and gave them twice the allowance that they gave you, you would say to your siblings, I think we're being replaced by kids that our parents love more. And it would be kind of hard to argue against you because look at the evidence. So this matters on a bunch of different levels, but on the most basic level, it's a voting rights question. In a democracy, one person equals one vote. If you change the population, you dilute the political power of the people who live there. So every time they import a new voter, I become disenfranchised as a current voter. So I don't understand why we don't understand this. I mean, everyone wants to make a racial issue out of it. Ooh, the white replacement theory. No. This is a voting rights question. I have less political power because they're importing a brand new electorate. Why should I sit back and take that? Of course you're not working to import as many new citizens as we can into the United States to replace all the disobedient ones who didn't vote for us. In other words, you're being replaced and there's nothing you can do about it. So shut up! The great replacement theory, it's a lie, they yelled. George Soros has nothing to do with that. Stop talking. They said we were espousing something called the great replacement theory, a well-known racist fantasy. The great replacement. They acknowledge that it's real and they love it. This policy is called the great replacement, the replacement of legacy Americans with more obedient people from faraway countries. The great replacement plan is working.
The theory is also supported by Republican politicians. In fact, Elise Stefanik even went as far as purchasing Facebook ads that promoted replacement theory. After the Buffalo shooting, she posted this tweet: "Very saddened to hear the tragic news of fellow New Yorkers in Buffalo. We are praying for the entire community and law enforcement at this time." She claims to be saddened despite the fact that she created Facebook ads that promoted the exact same theory that motivated the Buffalo shooter.